So let's go ahead and introduce our players here. This is a replay cast from the ESL North American Open, number 74, spawning in the bottom left. Our Red Protoss player for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. This is ZEST. And spawning in the bottom right, it's our blue Zerg player playing for the Shopify Rebellion. This is SCARLETT. So big thank you for tuning in to our Archon X match. It did end really quickly. We wanted to give you just a little bit of extra content today, so we had this replay cast queued up, ready to go, just in case things were a bit on the short side. So we're so glad that you are hanging out with us, and hopefully you will get a chance to enjoy this as well. Which hero? It's the hero with a capital O at the end. If you check out TL.net, I believe the article is posted there. And yeah, hero coming back from the military, got an opportunity to start playing again, and that will, I think, be a kind of a cool way to continue invigorating the StarCraft 2 scene, especially for Korea. Having some of the big names from the beginning of the StarCraft 2 era coming back and competing alongside some of the mainstays that are currently fighting in the StarCraft 2 scene. Now this is a rather, so this is back to our 1v1. So this is no longer a 2v1. It's SCARLETT versus ZEST, just tackling life as it comes. This has been a bit of a different opener. One moment, please. Oh. I had to sneeze for so long, and then it just didn't happen. So sad. Anyways, what I was going to say, SCARLETT's natural gets put down at her third base location. She's going to be able to get down her natural expand in a pretty standard timing, so nothing of major consequence happening there. It is going to be a Stargate opener with one gateway initially, alongside a Stalker. Yeah, so that usually seeing that Stalker means that we're not going to get a Void Ray opener right away, and that is exactly going to be the case. Oracle does pop out. So that will be an interesting opening here for ZEST. Not outside of the realm of reality to see Oracle openings still in 2021, but it's certainly not the norm as of late. Can still carry a lot of power potential though. Oracle will confirm the timing of that third base in the natural. Does run into a couple of queens, still able to pick off 2 workers though. The cost of half of its health, not too bad of a start. As long as he's able to keep that Oracle, he can continue to harass his opponent with the quick back and forth of these 2 Oracles. But it should be a quick transition here. It's going to be double Stargate. We don't have any Void Rays just yet. Oh gosh, it's going to be a Fleet Beacon already. Well, this game's going to get topsy-turvy pretty fast. So SCARLETT's going to have to really get some scouting information going, but I don't think she has any major scouting potential going on right now. The first Overlord was knocked down rather quickly. And Lings are going to try and push across the map but not really find any major scouting information. This third base is going to go forward, which is rather interesting, especially on this map. This forward third base really puts yourself close to your opponent. But for the most part, I don't think it's going to matter. I think ZEST wants that forward position because he's going to be able to anchor it down with shield batteries. It's going to be carriers coming out. This is like the flex to end all flexes. Now, is Scarlett ever going to be able to figure this out before it's too late? Studies say probably not. I mean, ZEST's first 2 carriers are most of the way done, 3/4 of the way taken care of. Plus 1 air attack. It's also coming in as well. Roddy, so proud. Now, these Zerglings will get out onto the map and start finding a little bit of damage, but gonna go to the traditional third base location and not really gonna find anything. So will Scarlett think to scout down at this base? Hopefully she does. I mean, she's bringing everybody. Brenda, Susan, Agnes, Dolores, they're all coming here to be a part of the fight. It's gonna be a whole unit pull here. The Queen Walk coming across the map. This has potential, but I don't think she can waste her time fighting at that forward third base. She really needs to just jump on up into the natural, and that seems to be exactly what's going to happen here. Those oracles, though, are going to get brought in to start dealing some fresh damage to begin with. But here comes the main push. The queens have been walked across the map. Now that third base is going to be brought on site. Are there enough queens to deal with the interceptor count that's happening right now? I think so far that is going to be an okay exchange. Those Ravagers are going to get picked off very early. Ravager Biles can be very dangerous against carriers. I think even adding 2 more carriers to this defense is going to be so damaging here for Scarlett. She's going to start running out of push power with these queens getting caught a little bit out of position, and those shield batteries will be so influential. Do we still have a shield battery overcharge? We do, so there isn't a major way to really shut this down. As long as ZEST can hold this wall, he should be just fine, and that seems to be the case. The roaches have been pulled back. The queens are now going to get targeted down. All of those interceptors are going to just land so much damage onto his opponent, and Scarlett is going to be left without a whole lot to defend. Back at home, losing all of her queens. Now there are 4 carriers out on the map, 2 more in production as well, and it looks like Flux Veins are going to get brought into the equation as well. We don't even have any Void Rays yet, but that is a sign of what's to come. Oh, there it finally snuck up on me. Excuse me. Yeah, now we do see a Void Ray in production here. It's going to be the follow-up behind these now 6 carriers. The queen count has been rather replenished back at home, but there's just nothing here to defend. Sure, Scarlett has the overall supply count, but she just doesn't have enough to deal with ZEST in the air. And Gigi's going to be called ZEST. Picks up game number 1 in this best of 3 series. There's going to be a Void Ray opener here for our second map. ZEST opting to do Oracle opening in game number 1, and then let him into the dirtiest carrier timing. We're instead going to opt for a more standard Protoss build order, getting into a Void Ray to deflect some of the scouting, but he will go right into an Oracle immediately following, so could possibly throw his opponent off base. Scarlett, though, she's a crafty player. She is not one to shy away from a really strong Queen Walk timing. And on this particular map, I mean, the Queen Walk is rather effective. Utilizing these acceleration zones can get a Zerg player across the map really, really fast, and queens with a lot of body blocking can deal an insane amount of air damage. Yeah, exclamation point B in the chat, guys, will take you to our previous event of the day, the Archon X event. So you're going to look for information about this matchup between Scarlett and ZEST. You will not find a whole lot. But if you want to find out more information about that, you can check out on Liquipedia. It's the ESL NA Open number 74. I believe this was the round of 8, I believe. So if you want to spoil yourself, you certainly can. Double Stargate again. You can certainly spoil yourself, but please do refrain from spoiling others in the chat. Really do appreciate that. Ah, it's just going to be a double Void Ray push. And this is insanely strong as well. I mean, the number of times I've seen Protoss players that'll just zoom in with 6 or 8 Void Rays and then just jump on top of a hatchery or a lair is just too dang high. That seems to be exactly what we're going to see. But not if SCARLETT has something to say about it. The Queen Walk has already happened. Okay, so this is a large enough number of queens. What does she have to go along with it? There are Ravagers as well. SCARLETT has potential here. And shield batteries are going to be real good, though. There's going to be cannons alongside this as well. One of those Void Rays actually getting dangerously low here. If SCARLETT can clean up +1, that would be a huge amount of damage here. I think if SCARLETT is smart, she might try to nuke down the Cyber Core. That is going to limit a little bit of that damage potential as well. But here comes the engagement. Being very, very cautious and patient here is ZEST. SCARLETT just stepping forward one at a time. Those queens are starting to run out of desperate, valuable transfusions. And she is having a difficult time really wedging her way in, and she just taps out early. Okay. SCARLETT not able to make it connect here in game number 2, and ZEST is going to win the series 2-0.